Microraptor will be the smallest dinosaur in Path of Titans, quite literally, but it's also going to be coming with some mechanics, tree climbing and gliding. And yes, today I'm going to be telling you about Microraptor, how we know it, and how we think it will come to the game, as well as the mechanics of tree climbing and gliding. Timestamps for everything are on the screen now, but do bear in mind, of course, this is a theory and discussion video. You know, some of the stuff that I say in this video are pretty much piecing the puzzle together, and so isn't exactly 100%. So do bear in mind, if this does release, you know, this video is a theory and discussion. But let's just get right into it. If you are new, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, let's dive into Microraptor. Microraptor is one of the creatures that was achieved through the game's crowdfunding, I believe. It was a stretch goal for the $100,000 US, which is a lot of money. That is a metric butt ton of money. Now, in the release for Microraptor, in the technical crowdfunding stretch goal release, it said it would come with one model, 3 variants, 3 skins, animations, and the gliding and tree climbing mechanics. However, we also have this little more in-depth review from one of the developers, Jiggy. This comes from 2019 when the crowdfunding goal was hit. The Microraptor is a very small dinosaur with less than a 1 meter wingspan and will be the smallest playable creature when it's added. The interesting thing about the Microraptor is that it will be able to climb trees and glide from trunk to trunk. This opens up a very interesting gameplay opportunities for a Microraptor player. They're able to stay out of reach from predators, but are essentially limited to hunting small AI creatures or scavenging due to their tiny size. So yeah, that's an interesting one regarding Microraptor, and we already have an idea of what the subspecies for this creature could be, because Microraptor technically has 3 already existing subspecies. And now, do excuse my pronunciation of these, however these are Microraptor zauianus, Microraptor gui, and Microraptor hanchigi. This dinosaur is absolutely tiny. As the developers said, the wingspan is less than a meter. Its size is about 0.25 meters in terms of its height. So yeah, it's an interesting one to be in the game. If you want to go one step further, we actually have an idea of what the skins could look like for this dinosaur, especially if they're going down the idea that we actually already know about the skins or the coloration of this dinosaur. Because in 2012, scientists analyzed the pigment cells of the dinosaur, which led to the discovery of what coloration of Microraptor was. They found that the cells were shaped in a manner that would have given it a darker, glossy color in terms of a pigment, and this also indicated that it could have been like modern day blackbirds, or if you want to go even further, the shape was in a manner where it could be like the modern day starling, indicating there would have been some iridescent plumage for Microraptor. So maybe we could get a skin that has some kind of iridescence on it, and that would be awesome to see. Microraptor is also known for 2 mechanics that are coming to the game, gliding and tree climbing. So let's talk about them. Tree climbing is easily one of the coolest mechanics to come to the game because, well, you'll be able to climb a tree. Simply put, it's actually very cool. Essentially, yeah, as I've said, this will be an ability whereby you'll be able to climb trees and just chill in them and glide from tree to tree with the gliding mechanic as well. However, this is something the developers did speak about before, because if you remember the short I uploaded on Sunday, the recent Sunday, it talked about pounce, but it also talked about tree climbing because Matt said this: if everyone picks it, I'm getting my raptor tree climbing and pouncing squad together, which gives an inkling that maybe tree climbing might not be limited to Microraptor. Maybe tree climbing could come to other creatures like that of Latina venatrix, or Microraptor will have the ability to pounce as well, maybe latching onto the side of other creatures. However, yes, Microraptor is going to be an interesting one because, to be fair, I don't think the developers would have it so where it's only Microraptor able to climb trees. Maybe it will have to have a natural predator that can climb trees but can't glide from them, which means Microraptor will have the advantage being able to get up the trees faster and then jump from them and glide from them, whereas the dinosaur that's climbed the trees will have a harder time getting down them. But that is of course just a theory. Matt also came up with some incredible comments regarding Microraptor itself, which spoke about this. You could say Microraptor is weak as fuck, but in my opinion, I can climb trees. Does that indicate that Matt is secretly a Microraptor? we don't know. Tree climbing is just going to be too good, of course, and then followed up by the fan favourite, literally peck your eyes out and climb trees, which indicates that easily Microraptor's ability is that it will be able to peck your eyes out. But yes, tree climbing is going to be an interesting mechanic in the game. I don't know how it's going to really be, but it's going to be an interesting one. Maybe when you're climbing the trees, it will strain your stamina. Maybe you'll be able to sprint climb up the trees, or something else. Maybe a different way to escape predators. But now, let's get into the gliding ability. Gliding is going to be an interesting mechanic, because technically we already see it in the game with the Velocci. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a second. However, it will probably bring an additional mechanic with it, which will be the ability to latch onto trees, because, you know, the developers did say you'll be able to glide from trunk to trunk, which means you'll be able to latch onto the trunks when you're gliding to them, instead of slamming into them at Mach 1 and then falling to your doom, which I still imagine will happen, and it'll be quite a funny sight to behold. Even if you are the Microraptor player, you'll probably be helping at them. Regarding flight itself, or the gliding itself, I feel like the mechanic will be the same as the gliding ability for Velocci, which is where it basically glides but slowly goes down over time, or loses latitude as it's losing speed, and that's how it is for Velocci, and I feel like it'll be the exact same for Microraptor. So you'd have to start off higher than the tree that you're trying to go on, but maybe you'll be able to climb up rock surfaces as well. Who knows? We do technically have, of course, the gliding mechanic in the game, so I feel like it's easier to implement the gliding mechanic than the tree climbing mechanic. But yeah, Microraptor is going to be an interesting one, being able to adapt to this new playstyle, being the smallest creature in the game. I'm very excited to see how it will play out with this one. And yeah, what do you guys think about Microraptor? Let me know in the comments down below. And there we have it, the small weird critter Microraptor. I'd love to know what you think about this one. It's an interesting one because like it just brings a whole new mechanic to the game, a whole new creature and a whole new playstyle. The developers also mentioned that your lifestyle will pretty much be eating small AI creatures, which indicates there'll be smaller AI creatures than what we have so far, because Microraptor still won't be able to catch up and fight Platyhystrix because that thing just runs away. So I feel like maybe there'll be grubs in the trees. That'll be a nice way for them to eat, but they're also being a scavenger as well. But yeah, guys, I'd love to know what you think about this one in the comments down below. I'd love to know what your ideas about Microraptor are. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this. And if you are new, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.